If you are someone who is struggling with working out, then this video can be very useful for you. I'm a person who has terrible difficulties with making myself work out. I know about all of the health benefits, and I've tried like dozens of times to start, and then I always stopped working out. When I got pregnant with my son, I completely stopped working out, and it was over 3 years ago, and I don't think I've done anything more than just like stretching yoga during my pregnancy. And then after I gave birth, I worked out 2 or 3 times for 10 minutes, and then I completely gave up because I just couldn't. I think it's important to point out that as a person who looks the way I do, and I'm not trying to brag, but I'm not fat, I'm not particularly skinny, but also I feel healthy and fit and normal, and working out for my looks has never ever worked out for me. Like, the only time in my life that it has worked out was 10 years ago when I started working out at the gym for the very first time in my life. And I did that because I fell in love with a rather toxic guy, and he was obsessed with the way a girl's belly looks, and he thought that a girl just must have a very flat belly. I was desperate to impress him, so I started working out at home, just doing bodyweight exercise I could do, and then I started jogging at the football field nearby my home, and eventually I signed into the gym, and I asked a friend to come up with a program for me, and I asked another friend to just also come with me. So I had a bit of a support group, and I was highly motivated by my young stupid hormones, and it actually worked. I got myself into a rather decent shape. I was very proud of myself, and it also was the first time when I discovered that going on a treadmill was actually something I enjoyed doing. It was giving me that energy boost that helped me to work out through the rest of the workout. Unfortunately, after I broke up with my boyfriend, the breakup was very fortunate, don't get me wrong. I am very happy that I got rid of that toxic relationship in my life. But through life circumstances, I have moved to Germany, and one very huge benefit that gym back at my parents' house had is that it was literally in 2 minutes walking distance from my house. And when I moved to Germany, one thing that you need to know about Germany is whatever activity you want to do, you have to get there. Like, there is almost no way that you're gonna get a gym right next to your house. It's usually you have to take a bus, or you have to take a bicycle there, or even drive there. And when I moved to Germany, I worked as an au pair for the first year, and that was actually the year when I looked my absolute best and my absolute slimmest. I was wearing XS for the first time in my entire life, and I was so much in love with myself. I was wearing like tight clothes all the time, and I just felt really awesome about myself. But after that, I got myself a full-time job as a software developer, and I had to work in a very stressful environment. Stressful because I had to work in a foreign language. I had to do something that I wasn't doing regularly for the last year, because after working as a nanny for a year, of course I was out of practice. So it was very complicated, and the worst thing that happened is very funny, but I started earning money, and there was a grocery store right outside my office. So whenever I would feel stressed, I would just go to that store and just buy myself a big pack of sweets so that I could eat my stress out. Yeah, and I was stress eating a lot, and I gained all of my weight back because I was also not working out. I didn't have any gym right next to my house, and it was just such a struggle relationship for me. And the biggest problem is that, like, I know that I love working out. I know that I enjoy the feeling and the strength that comes with it, but I absolutely hate the process of getting a gym subscription, getting yourself to the gym, getting dressed into the workout clothes, and then actually doing something. And that is a huge step outside of my comfort zone for me. Here I should insert a very practical tip for you how to actually do that. But I'm gonna tell you one very, very unpleasant truth, and it's very simple and you're not gonna like it, but here it goes. All you have to do is have an intention. Like, you just wake up one day and you make a very strict decision. Today I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna get a subscription and I'm gonna work out. That is the most difficult, but also the easiest part, because making a decision is not something very difficult. At least it's not something that's been difficult for me. I'm a person who tends to make life-changing decisions like this, and then I just stick to them, because when I do make such a decision, I put my entire intention in it. The next big step is to figure out how can I optimize the process to minimize the resistance that I have. So for example, last Sunday I woke up and I was getting dressed and I realized that my pants feel tight on my waist, and that is terrible for me, because I have been struggling so much with finding my style and finding clothes that I actually love wearing. And just the mere thought that my perfect wardrobes that I started creating 2 years ago can stop fitting me, so I wouldn't be able to wear my favorite pieces, that was terrifying for me. So I realized that I have to lose a bit of weight. The decision to start going to the gym was made like this. I just googled the closest gym that I could possibly find, and I found one that is a 5-minute drive from my son's childcare, and that is perfect because I already leave the house in the morning because I have to bring him there, and if I just take my sports bag with me, I am already halfway there at the gym, and then I just have to drive for 5 minutes. In total, the entire trip to the gym just adds 10 minutes of driving to my day schedule, which is very tolerable. And then of course comes the sport bag. I try to assemble it in the evening before the day I have to go, so that I don't have to put any energy into assembling my sports bag in the morning. So that is one tiny resistance less. And then I get to the gym, and what I did for myself is I created myself a vision board with a few motivating images of how I want my body to look. I didn't get a private trainer because I have enough experience about what kinds of exercises I have to make and what is the proper technique to make them. But if you don't have any experience, getting a personal trainer who's gonna motivate you and help you and support you on your journey is definitely something worth doing. But I don't need that because I'm such an introverted person and I don't know how to make like small talk and get nice contact with, you know, like those service people, like hairdresser, manicure people, those people. I never chit chat with those people. I don't know how to do that. So a personal trainer is potentially a resistance threat for me, and that's why I sat down and this is adorable. I did it half a year ago because, of course, during the New Year's resolution, I had an intention to go to the gym and work out more this year, but that's where it ended. It was just an intention. I did not make a decision. And that was my problem. I just couldn't choose the gym. I didn't know where to put it in my schedule, and I had my reasons. I had excuses. All right, everybody knows what it's like to have excuses why you can't work out, and I have plenty of mine. So I tried to recall all of the exercises that I remember myself liking to do, and I just assembled this little collage of a 2-day workout with my absolute favorite exercises. I try to keep a bit of a balance, so it's like lower body, upper body exercises each day, but it's still, I only chose like 4 exercises plus the treadmill and stretching at the end. And I don't keep the track of how many sets and which weight I make. I just go there and I look at the picture, and it's very motivating to me to look at the picture actually, because it's pretty, and you know, I like pretty things. And most of those exercise tracking apps, they are complicated, they are pushy, they like want you to give a lot, they want you to pay more for the programs, and then the program takes like 2 hours, and it's just so exhausting. And I'm just trying to keep it to a minimum, because you have to remember that working out at your minimum capacity for like 15 minutes but regularly over the time is gonna give you much more result than doing a proper well balanced 1 hour, 1.5 hour workout, but very irregularly. This is also how you build up a habit, because going to the gym is a habit and you just have to build it up into your routine as the same way as you brush your teeth. It's not something super enjoyable to do, it's not something nice, it's not something you immediately get any negative or positive feedback from, but it is something that you know that it's a long run game, and that if you neglect it in the long term, it's gonna bite you in the ass. And obviously we all brush our teeth because we want to have healthy teeth, and I believe that we all want to be healthy and keep our mobility for as long as possible. And now as a mother, I have an additional factor that I also want to be strong enough so that I have enough energy to keep up with my little toddler. And those are the things you need to know: your realistic intrinsic motivation. Like looking sexy and having abs is not a realistic motivation for me, because I know that in order to look like those models, I would have to put in so much effort working out. I would have to take protein powder and count my calories and do so many things that I am not willing to do. Like, I'm not willing to go through those struggles in order to look that way. But I am willing to put a little bit of struggle. I am willing to take myself out to the gym. And I think this is my biggest advice to you. Just find yourself a very, very honest and very realistic intrinsic motivation that you can. For me, for example, one more reason why I go to the gym is that as a stay-at-home mom, I noticed recently that I've been accumulating a lot of rage. Like, I can physically feel the cortisol levels building up in my body, and I can feel the tension in my muscles. And have you seen that quote on the internet yet, which goes like, "Don't you feel guilty for taking time for yourself?" And the girl replies, "No, I feel guilty when I'm being a cunt to my family." And that's basically what I'm doing with working out. I am investing not in the way I look, but in the way I treat my family and in the way I show up for the people I love, with my energy being regulated. Because if you're a mom, you definitely know how hard it can be to regulate your emotions with a young toddler who just drives you nuts every day. And going to the gym and working through that cortisol and reducing the level of stress is just an incredible help to stay sane and keep your mood up and, continue being a kind person to your family. I wish you a lovely day. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. See you next time. Bye.